knocking down the White House. I was going to insist on talking about Jesus and how Jesus is the leader of the Antifa leftist movement, the American human, uh, and what I call the Fairy Liberation Front, the movement to stop Trump and fascism. Jesus is the leader of that. I've been talking about that mostly lately because I really want to drive home what I think should be a very obvious point and easy to convey to people. Jesus is the leader of all the good stuff, the truth and love and all this stuff. Love and peace in Jesus, no kings, like what everybody experienced at the No Kings protest. Love and peace in Jesus. Jesus is the leader of all that. He's like the anti-king of the No Kings. And Trump is the Antichrist. Trump is the opposite. So that's mostly what I've been talking about. But what I'm talking about right now is Trump's destroying the White House. Trump's knocked down half the White House. You feel like, you say you're on the left and you see what YouTube shows people on the left, you feel like, well, everybody's heard this so far. But apparently they haven't. So I was doing a live earlier and somebody doubted that Trump was knocking down the White House. So it's like, okay, as much as I do want to talk about what I think is simple, basic principle of Jesus is good, Trump, the Antichrist, is bad, and we can talk about that until we get that out there, get that well understood. What we need to talk about even more immediately than that is Trump's knocking down the White House. He's knocked down about half of it so far. He's probably knocking down the rest. He's probably going to knock down the whole thing because nobody's stopping him. And what are they going to do? Stop him when the last post is still up and say, here's the post, here's the last post of the White House that we managed to save from Trump. They probably won't stop him at all. He'll probably be chopping down the Washington Monument like a cherry tree. He'll be turning the Lincoln Memorial into a manure silo for his carpet bombings of us with poop. He'll turn the Jefferson Memorial into a humidor for his crowns. Like, this is what's going on. Trump's knocked down half the White House. Like, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to enrage people for my personal benefit. I'm trying to let people know that Trump's knocking down half the White House. It's time for people to do something about it. You're either doing something to stop him or you're helping him knock down the White House. He's already knocked down half of it. And you've either been doing something to try to stop Trump or you've been helping him knock down half the White House. And all these people who aren't involved are helping him slightly to knock down half the White House. But the people who are really helping him knock down half the White House are the Trump boutonnieres. They're total traitors. And we need to turn on them massively and completely and viciously so that they stop knocking down the damn White House. They've knocked down half of it so far. Okay? If this is news to you, then I feel sorry for you because you're in one of these Trump silos where they're not telling you what's going on. But since I get a lot of those Trump boutonnieres in my lives, or the majority of people that Netanyahu puts in my lives, that YouTube puts in my lives, are these Trump boutonnieres. Sure enough, the last time I did a live, one of them was like, oh, what's this about knocking down the White House? Like, they've really protected you from that information. When we've all heard about it, most leftist content creators are talking about it. But it's like as usual with leftist content creators on YouTube, they're not talking about what it really means. Trump is destroying the White House. Yeah, he's only destroyed half of it so far, but he's destroying the White House. Like, I'm just going to do this until I get people to understand. Trump's destroying the White House. He's destroyed half of it so far. We should have automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. Trump's destroying the White House. He's destroyed half of it so far. We should have automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. Trump's destroying the White House. He's destroyed half of it so far. You're either helping stop Trump destroying the White House or you're helping him destroy the White House. Okay? So it's time to find the people who are willing to stop Trump because he's destroyed half the White House so far. Okay? Let me know if this is news to you. But Trump has so far destroyed half the White House. I suspect he's probably going to destroy the other. He's going to destroy all of it. He's already destroyed half of it. He's probably going to destroy the rest. It does not look like a precision operation of destroy. The half that he's destroyed so far does not look like they have any plans to retain any of it. Okay? It looks like they're destroying the White House And we could stop him and have half the White House, but tomorrow is probably the day to do it. Like I was saying, that I'm only going to talk about how Jesus is Antifa and Trump is the Antichrist. And these two things are opposite, and we can shift Trump Trump-Butineers over to Jesus and stuff like that. I've been talking about that a lot lately in lives. And I was just going to keep focusing on that to defy the fact that YouTube wasn't letting anybody see my lives. I'm like, who cares? I'm going to keep doing it anyway. But I realized in my last live about that subject that when I mentioned Trump destroying the White House, this Trump Trump-Butineer in the live didn't know that Trump was destroying the White House. And so it's time to just take the chance on telling people, try to tell as many people as possible, yes, Trump is destroying the White House. Trump is in the process of destroying the White House. Trump has destroyed half the White House so far. If you don't know about this, I'm talking about he's knocked down half the White House. And he's probably going to destroy the rest of it. Okay, that's the thing, that even though all the people on the left are talking about Trump destroying the White House, or a lot of them are mentioning that Trump is destroying half the White House, or has destroyed half the White House so far, they're probably not telling you that Trump is going to destroy the rest of it. Like, he's halfway through destroying the White House. We can either not have a White House anymore because Trump and Putin owned us and you guys helped, or you stopped him. You're either stopping Trump destroying the White House, or you're helping Trump destroy the White House. Okay, the people who are doing nothing are helping Trump a little bit, and the people who are protecting Trump, of course, helping him a lot. But it's time to get everybody into the camp of stopping Trump before he destroys the White House. Like, I'm telling you now, and when we don't have a White House in a few days or a week, then, I can say I told you so, but that's not what I want. I want us to, in that time, stop Trump. Stop Trump before he destroys the White House. Okay, he's destroyed half of it so far. He's probably going to destroy the rest. The other thing I want is automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. Every single person ICE contacts, I want automatic citizenship. I want to get automatic citizenship. We can make a list of all the people they've contacted, and the people that they actually kidnap or do other things to, we're going to give them compensation. But automatic citizenship for everybody, even if they just knock on the door. If they wrote them on a list, I want that list and give all those people automatic citizenship. But right now, Trump is knocking down the White House. He's knocked down about half of it. We can stop him, but there's a whole organization of everybody trying to help him do it. And even though most people really don't want Trump to knock down the White House, it's going to be a test of, can we organize and can we do the things that are required to stop Trump from knocking down the rest of the White House? Can we do the things to get Trump removed for knocking down the half the White House he's already knocked down? Even if we stop him and preserve the White House, can we get Trump out of the White House to preserve the White House? Because he's a foreign agent. I mean, because he's a traitor, because he's knocked down half the White House. So I think it's a great metaphor. Trump knocking down half the White House is a great metaphor for how he's halfway through destroying the country. It's not like he's going to stop unless we stop him. So Trump is halfway through knocking down the White House. He's halfway through destroying the country. And even though people don't understand how much he's destroying the country, people aren't responding to that because it's not visual, it's not whatever. Knocking down the White House is visual. And in a way, it's rubbing it in our face that he's destroying the country. He's knocking down half the White House. He'll probably knock the whole thing down. If he doesn't knock the whole thing down, it's not like I'm going to be happy. He's already knocked down half of it. All the Trump Trump-Butineers have helped Trump knock down half the White House. Okay? It's time to save the rest of the White House and the rest of the country. And in order to do that, we must fully stop Trump. So now's the time to stop Trump. He's already knocked down half the White House. He's going to knock down the other half. He's already destroyed half the country, or a significant portion of the country. He's going to destroy the other half. We have to stop him now while we have half a White House left. Let's save one half the White House. Brute is a Trump-Butineer from what I remember. Brute Hit is a Trump-Butineer. It's Brute HT. Something like that. Anyway, we'll read Trump-Butineer's comments, but let's clarify. Trump has knocked down half the White House. Let's see what Brute HT's, this is the whole topic of the live. Trump has knocked down half the White House. Let's see what Brute HT's comment suggests, whether he's stopping Trump knocking down the White House or whether he's helping Trump knock down the White House. Okay, so we know from his second comment that he's helping Trump knock down the White House because he's repeating Trump's lie that it's just the facade. No, he's knocked down the East Wing. There is no more East Wing. Okay? So because you listen to liars, you're helping Trump knock down the White House. You helped Trump destroy the White House. Okay? You've helped Trump destroy the East Wing. Okay? The East Wing is gone. You're saying it's just a facade, but that's a Trump lie. Because the East Wing is gone, he's destroyed it. He's halfway through destroying the White House. He's going to destroy the rest of the White House. They don't even have a plan for the ballroom. I just found that out. All he asked for the ballroom is a drawing. It's a scam, dude. He's destroying the White House for Putin. You're helping him. He's a traitor. He's making you a traitor. Okay, we'll read your main comment. The first comment says, it's the facade so he can properly attack the ballroom. Sup, Puffin, your favorite Nazi is here. I don't like any Nazis. So you're not my favorite Nazi. Like, if you don't know, I'm getting a screenshot of your comment. No, I guess I'll still get a screenshot of your comment, but we'll be shutting off the live soon because I fucked it up. But, anyway, it's not just the facade. It's not so he can attach the ballroom. He's knocked down the East Wing. You're repeating his lies from a few days ago, and more of the White House is gone because of you repeating those lies. Mostly because of Trump. You're a minor part. The people who are doing nothing are a minor part, but you're a more major part than them, helping Trump knock down the White House. I'm going to shut down the live because you're here. I don't like Nazis. You are a Nazi, and you're confessing it, and you're confessing that Trump, the one you support, is a Nazi. I was at work. I didn't help shit. Yeah, you're helping Trump knock down the White House right now. Okay, you're right. I see it. Thank you. So fuck off, you Nazi piece of shit. Okay? Like, stop being a Nazi. You may have acted like, you're being humorous by calling yourself a Nazi, trying to do this young Republicans thing. Act like it's a joke. It's not a joke. You are a Nazi. You should stop being a Nazi. You should stop knocking down our White House because we're going to blame you, Brute HT. We're going to blame you for what you did. You're part of it. Or you joined 10 years ago and you have 4 subscribers. You're helping Trump knock down the White House. You're helping destroy America for Trump. The rest came down today. Okay, so he did knock down the rest of the White House. So my live is a little bit late, but don't say I didn't warn you, because before I was aware of the fact that he knocked down the rest of the White House, I was trying to tell people that Trump's about to knock down the White House. So I guess I can shut this live down and start a new one about how Trump knocked down the White House, and you guys helped. And the people who wanted to stop Trump would have saved the White House. We would have saved lots of lives. We would have saved a lot of rights, a lot of damage, a lot of money. We would have saved all this stuff. But you guys had to be dupes for Trump. And you guys had to help him knock down the White House. What did I do to stop it? I've been opposing Trump for years. You helped him knock down the White House. That's the sides we chose. I was trying to warn you when you came in that we should be trying to stop him knock down the White House. I guess it was too late by the time I started this live. But this will still go on the historical record as there were plenty of Americans. I mean, not plenty in this live. There's 3 of us here. There's me and you and one other person. But there were plenty of people opposed to him knocking down the White House. Like, everybody who was talking about it was opposed to it, except for the people who were lying about it, saying the things you just said. So you helped him knock it down. We were trying to save the White House. He knocked it down, kind of like the terrorists did 9/11. He might not have killed as many people in the White House, but he's been killing as many people elsewhere in that time. So yeah, you're terrorists, you're traitors. And your question to me is, just leave it up. Give your live time to attract people. I mean, I am leaving it up. I'm obviously not doing the... Maybe I can fix it, but I'm obviously not doing the... I'm not shutting it down right now. But I fucked it up when I tried to screenshot your comment where you were bragging about being a Nazi. But yeah, I'll shut it down because the only other person here is Demetrius Antoine. You are the people who don't matter. You're the Trump-ooneers. You're the MAGA Nazis. You're the people that we're against. So I'm going to shut it down, and then I'll come live again. But give your live time to attract people. You're not people. You're Trump-ooneers. You're the opposite of people. You're anti-human. You're zombies. Do you know the history of renovations? Like, you're acting like something justifies Trump knocking down the White House. It doesn't. You're traitors. What was in the East Wing? Since you want to know, since you asked, what was in the East Wing before Trump knocked it down? The offices of the First Lady. Demetrius says, don't compare 9/11 to this. This is worse than 9/11. I mean, 9/11 was bad, and it killed a lot of people, but this is worse than 9/11 because this is Trump. This is Trump doing it. Trump is worse than any other person ever. You're not getting it. Demetrius is calling me a traitor, but you're a traitor. Brute HT is saying, don't let a Nazi scare you away. I'm not scared of you. I'm shutting down the live. You'll be able to come back to the next live too when I turn it back on. But I fucked this one up trying to screenshot your Nazi comment where you're bragging about being a Nazi. Here you are bragging about being a Nazi again. You guys both support Trump. So you both know that Trump's a Nazi, right? And that you're Nazis and that you destroyed our White House and that you're trying to destroy our country. You know that you're traitors, right? And you know that you think you're safe because you're not in America and we won't hunt you down. But people hunt Nazis everywhere around the world for the rest of their lives, you dumb shits. And I've been telling you that. Restarting your lives only hurts your numbers. I don't want the numbers of Nazis in here. These aren't good numbers. Oh, I've attracted 3 Nazis to my... I don't want you Nazis in my chat. I don't want you Nazis in my life. I don't want you Nazis in my country. I don't want you Nazis on my planet. I think you're wrong, but I don't hate you. That's the difference. I think you're wrong because you're a Nazi, and I do hate you. Okay? I hate you for being a Nazi. I love the person that you could have been if you weren't a goddamn Nazi, but you are. That's the problem, so I hate you. Jesus hates you. Like, everybody hates you because you're a goddamn Nazi. Stop being a Nazi, and people can like you. Simple as that. And the fact that the other people who like you are the people like you, Nazis, who wants people, Nazis, to like them? It's disgusting. Okay, Dylan, as a new challenger approaches, they can't hunt me. They can hunt you, Demetrius Antoine. What makes you think they can't hunt you? You're a Nazi. You're the people who get hunted as a noble profession. Dylan says, this guy is part of the reason why Democratic approval ratings are record low. Okay, so I can safely shut down a live. Jesus doesn't love everything. Like, Jesus didn't even like the freaking money changers in the temple. He chased them out with whips. He whipped them on the way out. He wouldn't like you Nazis either. How can someone stop being a Nazi if they were never a Nazi? You're bragging about being a Nazi, brute. So you should stop being a Nazi because you've in 2 different comments in this live in the last 10 minutes have been bragging about being a Nazi. So you should stop being a Nazi. Just like J.D. Vance should stop being a Nazi. When J.D. Vance called Trump America's Hitler, we should have known that he wasn't criticizing him, he was advertising him. Stick death is another Nazi. See, again, if I'd stopped this live before, it might not have ever attracted stick death. So I'm going to stop it now. Gee whiz.